Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My name is Abdullah Al-Ma'awali, Program Director at Oman FM. I am absolutely honored to be here on behalf of TAS Conclave 2023. And with me, I have Thuraya Al Balushi, who is a Manager of Economic Diversification Investment at Oman Investment Authority. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Abdullah.
So we're going to keep it short. We're a bit short on time. So let's go very briefly about your professional journey in the field of investments here in Oman.
Okay, before I tap into that, Abdullah, I would would like to confess that I always believed that standing in front of a crowd and audience is a bit scary and gives you butterflies and chills, but until I came to the realization is sitting down is even worse. So
would you like us to stand? We can stand if you want.
Anyway, so a quick recap on my career and my journey of which got me here today. So I started in an investment division of one of the prominent banks in Oman back in 2005. And after that, in a couple of months, I earned the brokerage license. I was one of the first, if not the first, female Omanis to earn the brokerage license back then. And I started doing the selling and buying in the stock market in the Muscat securities market back then. And as much as I would like to claim that the next stage was done intentionally and by me, but it's actually credit goes to my father. So he advised me that I should venture into the audit to build a solid foundation for tapping into different sectors and understanding and knowing different sectors. So I joined the state audit institution. And I looked and audited into different sectors, and that gave me the exposure to different sectors in the Sultanate, auditing different entities and companies for the government until I specified in the investment arm of the government at my last around a year and a half. So I spent 6 years with state audit. After that, I wanted to shift gears. I'm like, why am I auditing investment companies? Why don't I join an investment company actually and be at the other side of the table? It's then when I decided to join State General Reserve Fund. In the interview panel, they tried to convince me to join the internal audit. Thank God we had the internal audit of OIA here, but she left. But I refused because I wanted to join the investment team actually and execute investments. And that has been a very pleasant journey since 2016 until today.
So fantastic. Here you are today to talk about the future of investments here in Oman. I think for us to understand the future of investments, we need to talk a little bit about the current landscape. Could you give us a brief overview?
Well, the landscape and the current landscape, it's no secret that we have always been dominant by the hydrocarbon sector. Our economy has been relying on this commodity-driven industry, which was the risky part of that. Now, the government's effort in reshaping that landscape is evident. We have recently been upgraded by Moody's 2 days ago. So we are one notch only far from being at the investment grade. That is all an evidence of the right path that we are taking towards diversifying the economy, building a vibrant, resilient economy that is not relying on the hydrocarbon sector, but broadening the revenue from the different sectors. That is, of course, guided by the ambitious Vision 2040. So we have different sectors identified in the vision, such as His Excellency Undersecretary spoke about the tourism sector. We have the industrial, the aquaculture, as well as the agriculture. We have the ICT, logistics, industrial. So it's all towards broadening.
So these are some of the industries that you're prioritizing at the moment?
Yes, because OIA's role is actually empowering, enabling the different sector, and as well as being part in developing the ecosystem for the different sectors that are there in the economy.
How about we talk about some of your achievements? Recently, OIA announced the completion of 6 national projects, as well as the Oman Future Fund. Could you share insights on these?
Okay, we recently announced about these 6 projects. These projects span through different industries. So that ticks the box of diversification. We have it in aquaculture, there was the power sector, there was the industrial, there was the ITC projects, which is in tourism. So these, the value of these 6 announced projects is around more than 4 billion Omani riyals. So the announcement came to announcement about the completion of these projects or completing major milestones of those projects. And with these projects are evident of OIA's endeavor towards achieving the diversification as well as developing the different governorates. So these projects span through different governorates to help as well in empowering private sector. There is FDI element, so there is a foreign direct investment through different partnerships, international partners with us in some of those projects, as well as in our attempt to create jobs in those governorates through those projects.
So let's talk a bit about global trends.
Okay.
How has it influenced Oman investment strategy? Because this year has been quite the year when it comes to technology.
True.
So how does that play a part?
We are not anymore operating in an isolated economy. Actually, it's quite the opposite. So whatever is happening globally will impact us and affect us. We do follow the global trends. We have a research department that looks into the mega trends, what we call the mega trends, and where the world is heading. We take that into consideration.
Where is the world heading?
That needs another session. So we take that into consideration when shaping our investment strategy. Obviously, we are also an opportunistic fund. Whenever there is an opportunity, we have the agility to enter and venture into those different sectors. It's prudent to mention that OIA manages its assets through 2 funds, which is the local arm, so the local fund, and we have the international fund. So we have different objectives and set of targets for each of these funds to achieve. But all of these funds take into consideration the mega trends and the movements and the hypes that are happening in the industry. Yeah.
Thank you for that. What are the key opportunities that you currently see in Oman's investment environment, in your opinion?
So as we mentioned, the groundwork that the government has laid, we have a conducive environment for welcoming investors here in Oman. We have the infrastructure there, we have the legislative, and we have the policies all set forth. We have the new policies as well that helps in getting investors here. So we are focusing on the different sectors that are highly mentioned in the Vision 2040. We have a pipeline of projects. We assess the value chain in terms. So when we say investing in tourism, like His Excellency mentioned today morning, investing in tourism today is not about developing hotels and investing in that part. No, it's more about attracting a tourist and investing in the full value chain of tourism. We do the same for each and every sector. We look and assess into the integrated value chain and see where is the gap and how can we bridge that gap as well.
I know we're powering through these questions for the sake of time, because each one of these questions we could sit on to discuss it for quite some time. So let's move on to the next one. Can you discuss any notable collaborations or partnerships that Oman Investment Authority has with a national or international organization?
So collaboration is key in the business arena that we operate in. We have the collaborations that we recently announced which is we announced the new Spanish fund. It's our second fund with Spain. That's a type of G2G we have with the government of Spain. We announced the third fund with India. So we already had 2 funds and we've announced the third one. We also have to leverage in a lot of G2G partnerships that we have with different governments. Now, having these collaboration with the international network that we have, so OIA operates in more than 50 countries around the globe. That is either directly, so either directly through private equities or direct ownership of our investments, like real estates and other, or indirectly through funds, through public markets as well. So we operate in more than 50 countries, and we can leverage into those, the network that we have for opening markets for us, for tagging along with investors broadly, and bringing the know-how, technology back into Oman. That is for the international part of it. For the local part of it, we are very much collaborating with the stakeholders in each sector. So in each sector, we have multiple players. It's not a one-man show. It's not only OIA and its investments. It's a full spectrum of stakeholders that we bring them abroad with us to be aligned with us in any opportunity or prospect that we are looking into. So collaboration is an important and integral and crucial part of our business.
We touched upon this point a little bit earlier, but what is OIA's vision for investments here in Oman? On what milestones are you looking at in the coming years?
So, as we mentioned, that we are governed by our North Star, which is the Vision 2040. We are working towards achieving the targets and the different targets for the vision in multiple verticals. So, like His Excellency Undersecretary of Tourism mentioned, that they want to achieve, or tourism has to achieve 5% of GDP, for example, towards 2040. So we play a role there through our tourism arm, which is Umran, for instance. We play a role in terms of FDI. So the vision states that they want to reach to a 10% FDI from the GDP in 2040. So we play a role as well there. As well as I mentioned, OIA just finished new collaborations with governments. We have collaboration with the government of Saudi Arabia, for example. We signed partnership MOUs with different countries that we would want to leverage going forward. In 2022, OIA announced its best year in terms of the performance and revenue that we have had compared to our peers, other sovereign wealth funds, obviously the ones who declare and disclose, because not every sovereign wealth fund discloses or declares their performance. So we had a good year for 2022, and we perceive that we will continue that way, inshallah, and better.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Before we end this session, does anyone have any questions?
My name is Taif. I am from Oman College of Management and Technology. And my question, what are the future strategies for developing and enhancing the investment sector in Oman?
Thank you for your question. So there are multiple programs, multiple strategies that we are embarking on in order to enhance the investment sector in Oman. Again, as I mentioned, that we are not the only player in this arena. We partner with other players, such as the Ministry of Commerce and other regulators, let's say, policymakers. We have met a lot of times in order to identify what are the challenges, what are the gaps that we need to fill into those sectors, for example, in order to lay a good and cohesive ecosystem for the investments. So we embark in different programs that you will hear about coming forward. For example, one of the programs that we will hear about very soon, like Abdullah, you mentioned the Oman Futures Fund. So this fund is an initiative that has been blessed by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. And the cause of this fund is to fill a gap where OIA cannot enter. For example, the VC arena, venture capitals. For example, the small ticket size, OIA is capped by a certain ticket size that they cannot enter. This fund is also to cater and help the SMEs. We look into helping the SME sector. So eventually, we would like the private sector to take drive into economy, and we will be taking the second seat, inshallah, after enabling and after preparing all the ecosystem for them to do so.
Thuraya Al Balushi, Manager of Economic Diversification Investment at Oman Investment Authority. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Thank you.